Salutations, my name is Summer, and this is Sterling Reads. I know, I changed the name. I don't want to go into too much detail right now about why I changed it. I just felt like it was something I wanted to do. You know, we're always growing and changing things in our life. So anyway, Sterling is roaming around here, as well as a couple of the other cats. I think it's really nap time, and it's just a dreary, rainy day, but I wanted to talk about the books that I have finished, DNF, and am currently reading. So one thing I want to mention is, I don't know if anybody tried to watch Persuasion. If you did watch it and you loved it, I'm so glad, but it's not Persuasion. That is not Anne Elliot, which made me pick up Persuasion, and I've only read maybe 8 pages of it. This is one of my favorite Jane Austen. I love everything Jane Austen. I love reading about her. I love all of her novels. But that, and I was excited. I was excited to watch it, and I was just so disappointed. But I only got to where Wentworth comes in and sees her, and I couldn't take it. I had to stop. I was like, nope, I am done. But I tried. I tried to watch it, and I do love this book. So hopefully I'll read more of it. I've read it many times. Okay, so the 3 things I DNF'd, I'm not going to say really much about these books because there's nothing wrong with them. It's me, not them type deal. They are well loved. 2 of them are well loved on Booktube. I'll mention those first. But I DNF'd Angel's Blood. Like I said, it just wasn't for me. And I DNF'd Snow Country. I've heard people talk very well about this book. I just did not enjoy it. And another one I DNF'd was Scratch the Surface. I love Susan Conant's Dog Lover's Mystery, but I just couldn't get into the cat. So another book that I set aside is, I am reading Possession with Mark. I read Book Time with Elvis, and luckily he is reading a bunch of other things too. So I was like, listen, I'm just setting it aside. This book I've wanted to read for years. I got to page 216, and I just so disappointed in it. I love the story. I love the idea of it. It's just the writing. I had a hard time relating with it. It was like super intelligent, and I'm so intelligent, and I don't know. I'm having trouble with it. So I'm not DNFing this book. I'm just going to set it aside for a little while, and maybe when I come back to it later, I'll really enjoy it. Because there were things that I did really enjoy. So something I finished was my reread of The City of Brass. I loved it. I forgot how much happens in this book. But yeah, it's wonderful. And I was able, it came in from the library, so I was able to go straight into the second book, Kingdom of Copper, and I Chakraborty. Anyway, yeah, so I could go straight in. I'm not very far, but last time I read these, I waited years between. And so this time, going directly in, I believe it's 5 years later, and so much has happened in those 5 years. Yeah, I'm excited about my reread for that. And I'm excited to read Empire of Gold for the first time this year. So where to go next? Oh, the other thing I did finish was The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. Absolutely love this book. It starts out, so this is a story of Mary Bennett, who is the middle child, and the one who kind of, she's the middle child. She doesn't really fit in with her 2 younger sisters or her 2 older sisters. And we know, I mean, if you've read Pride and Prejudice, you already know the beginning of this story. But, and I was worried it was going to continue and just be like a retelling, not quite retelling, but, Pride and Prejudice, but with just more of Mary and Charlotte and Mr. Collins and other characters. But it's not. So it starts off like that, but then it goes 2 years later after Elizabeth marries Darcy and Jane marries Mr. Bingley. And then we know more about Mary, and we get to know more about her, and new characters are introduced, old characters. It was wonderful. I absolutely love this book and look forward to rereading it again. Okay, so what am I currently reading? Gosh, so many, way too many things. I really need to stop adding more things to my list. But I am still listening to Mark over at Book Time with Elvis. I'm reading this along as he reads it out loud to us, and I'll link him down below. If I mention anybody, I'll link them down below. Love Pride and Prejudice. Oh gosh. I am almost finished with Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone by Diana Gabaldon. I want to say this is book 9. This is her latest release. They're all huge books. I think I have 50 pages left, but something happened last night where I had to set it down and I had to breathe, and yeah, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. There is another book coming out, but that doesn't mean anything because from reading Lonesome Dove and then going straight into Streets of Laredo, which I'm reading now, I know they'll just kill off, tell you, those authors. They will just kill off favorite characters. They'll give us new characters we don't really like that well, and it's like you need to make up for who you killed. But I'm so happy I did go through. This wasn't a plan when I started reading Lonesome Dove, but I loved it so much I wanted to stay in the world, and I had already read the first 2 in the series. I'm not going to explain that again. But this is the final book. Depends on how you want to read them, but this is the final book to me. Final book of the series. I can't believe it. Cannot believe it, Larry McMurtry. Instantly, he killed off a bunch of people that I loved, and then he gives me people who I want to say I feel sympathy for, but I don't really like. I mean, I don't think he's given me any new characters that I like, that are likable in that sense, or even, I don't know. So I am on page 114. I am loving it though, even though I don't, the characters are, nah. I mean, we still have Call. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So something else I picked up, and I saw this on Amy's channel, Zoe Beck. I'll link her down below. A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent, and it's by Marie Brennan. I am loving this. I'm not very far. I'm only on page 58, but this reads like a memoir. I love that. And so she's going back and telling us about when she was younger and growing up, and things she had to do and things she wasn't allowed to do and trouble she got into. I love the character Lady Trent, and I'm looking forward to more of this. So the last thing I want to talk about is I picked up, this was late last night, this is the last thing I was reading last night before bed, which I shouldn't have done, but I had to sit. I probably would have finished Go Tell the Bees That I'm Gone if it didn't go as it was going. I probably would have just finished it, but I couldn't handle it last night. If something was going to happen, I couldn't handle it. Anyway, but I picked up The Darkening Age. This is a library book. The Christian Destruction of the Classical World by Catherine Nixie. Oh my gosh, guys. This book it just makes you so angry. I mean, it makes me so angry, at least. You know, the disrespect of, if I may not agree with you, but I'm not going to go destroy your property or public property or anything like that. So it just makes me angry when people can't respect other people for their beliefs. Because honestly, when it comes to religion, I feel like a lot of religion was taken from other religions to begin with. But if you were to take little pieces of every religion, I think it would be the perfect religion, you know. But things that people believe, I'm always surprised, especially when it has to do with, the way we treat people and animals and the environment and everything. So, I'm not very far. This is very easy reading. Oh gosh, I'm still in the introduction. So I haven't even made it to chapter 1 yet. That's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I feel this strongly, and I'm only in the introduction. I think it's going to be a great read. So yeah, something I started listening to. I started listening to The Lost World, not Jurassic Park, The Lost World, but the original, I think it's the original Lost World, by Sir Arthur, is it Conan Doyle? That is so horrible. I haven't read any of the Sherlock Holmes, I don't think. Maybe I read one of them at one time. But the reason why I started listening to this is because I have so much happening in August, but I wanted to read some of the books that Mark over at Book Time with Elvis and Shawn D Standfast were talking about. Sorry about that, my phone. Whenever I get a text, it is horns, and I don't know if you could hear it or not. But anyway, so yeah, I will link their August of Adventures, I believe is what it's called. I'll link both of their channels down below. I'm already linking Mark's because of Pride and Prejudice, but anyway, fantastic idea of what they have going on in August. And I'm very excited about it, but I wanted to kind of get like a jump start on some of the books they're reading, because I have some Lewis and Clark books coming from the library, a book on their journals, and I have a bunch of other things coming from the library. And I have maybe 6 library books here that I would like to get to. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to them or write them down and reorder them. Anyway, I think that is everything I have to talk to you about this week. Anyway, if you have any thoughts about any of these books, please let me know down below. Yeah, everything's been going well here. I love my job. I'm back where I was before I moved. And everything, I don't know, everything seems to be going smoothly now. And I kind of feel like if you're where you're supposed to be, things move smoothly. And if you go against that and try to do something where you're not in the flow, I don't know. I'm having sinus issues today too. So anyway, I'm excited about August. I've been reading way too many books. I want to slow down, but I can't seem to do that because I'm loving everything I'm reading right now. All my cats are doing well. My mom and niece are doing well. And yeah, so let me know how you're doing. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.